Hello, guys. This is Ahmed. I'll be the speaker for the GDG's Flutter workshop. So currently, I will be showing you, like, for those who are willing to follow the steps on how to install the Flutter. I'll be showing you how to install and how to prepare all the environment stuff. So first of all, you must install Flutter. So go to this website, click this link, and then you'll install this zip file. And then make sure you unzip the zip file and then place it anywhere under under users and then your username. In my case, I have like /dev over here. So inside, basically just go inside and then go to bin and then copy the bin. All right. And then make sure you search for environment variables. Afterwards, this window should pop up. Go to environment variables and then basically add the Flutter bin path over here. This one, we're gonna ensure that basically when you like type Flutter Doctor or like Flutter version. Oh, yeah. Basically, if you type Flutter version, it should basically show the version over here. This will just make sure the Flutter appears in the command line. So after that's done, make sure you type Flutter Doctor, and this will actually show all the things that you need to do. In my case, I have most of the requirement installed. So if you want to develop for Android, if you want to compile to Android, you must have the Android SDK. And then if you want to compile to Windows, you must have the Visual Studio um, or the Windows SDK and APIs as well. Okay, so to begin with, usually people use Flutter for app development, right? So if you want to like develop apps, make sure you go to Android Studio and download Android Studio. After that is complete, open Android Studio, then make sure you install the latest SDK. So go to SDK Manager, all right? So you can just, yeah, currently it's API 35, so just make sure you install API 35. The rest is unnecessary. Um, Depending on your phone model, you can install this Android versions. You don't need to install 12 and 10 as well. You can just install the latest one. And then go to SDK tools. If you have an Android phone, you don't need to, you can basically run it directly there. But for the sake of um, like conveniency, you can just download the emulator over here. And then make sure you basically choose the command line as well, the Android SDK command line. Basically, once you have all those installed, you can just close the Android Studio and then rerun the Flutter Doctor command again. You should see this one already resolved. So this is if you want to download, if you want to compile to Android. If you want to compile to Windows, basically, first of all, you must install the Visual Studio installer. Once you have the installer, this is how the installer looks like. Click on Modify, and then basically you must have, yeah, you must have the desktop development with C++ selected, and then you must go to the individual components and then just select your own Windows SDK. Yeah, in my case, I'm running on Windows 11. So if it's Windows 11, just choose the Windows 11 SDK. Otherwise, choose the Windows 10 ones. Okay, so that's all with the Visual Studio. Actually, besides Visual Studio, you must also download the VS Code. So basically, this is an online editor. Sorry, this is an IDE. It also has an online version as well, actually. Yeah, VS Code for the web. But anyways, once you have that installed, this is VS Code. By the way, just to inform you, like Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code is kind of different. Visual Studio Code is a very lightweight and free version, basically. So basically, you can actually run Flutter apps directly inside Android Studio, but personally, I feel it's more straightforward and it's way easier to run it inside Visual Studio Code. The way to do this is basically go to extensions, All right, and then install the Flutter. There we go. So 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 basically, once you click on basically you should see a button that's called install besides this Flutter one, and click on install. Um, Honestly, I forgot what the block does. As far as I remember, I think this has mm, automatic like blocking for you, but I uh I have installed this anyways, so feel free to install this. So afterwards, once this extension is installed, it should actually give you the option to have the Flutter commands. So to begin with, just click on this above here, and then just use one of the diamond brackets, and then just type Flutter, and then Flutter new project. In my case, I've already created a new project. Let me just drag it sideways. So this is a project that I have already created. As you can see, it has different folders. The main one is the lib over here. And then basically the way to run this is just open this terminal. You can do this by click on terminal, new terminal, and then over here you can basically click on Flutter run. So before actually running this Flutter run, you can basically go to the same command, just type Flutter, and now instead of new project, click on select device. Select device can actually make you choose a device, and every time you click on Flutter run, it will automatically choose on the last selected device. So these are, if you download Android Studio, you will see those kind of emulators. You see, in my case, I have installed several emulators. For you, the situation might be a little different. Again, you can feel free to watch the video, the link that I have sent for more detail. For the sake of convenience, in my case, I always choose the Windows one. Um, the phone APIs, it does work as well, but it takes little time to compile. So like compiling to the web or compiling to desktop is, I don't know, I feel it's like more easier. So if you click on Flutter Run, basically it asks you to, if you want a web version or if you want the Windows version. So let's click on the Windows version. It's building the application. By the way, for your case, it might be a little different. If you choose to run it on Android, or I think if you choose to run it on web, I don't think you need to install the Visual Studio once, and also Android Studio. Yep. So as you can see, it has builded or compiled fast enough. And honestly, if it's Android version, it will also appear the same. In this demo homepage that I've created, it's just a simple AI-based application. And yeah, so again, to wrap it up, if you want to install, if you want to run, if you want to compile it to Android, just install Android Studio and Android SDK. If you want to compile it to Windows, just download the Visual Studio. If you want to compile to web version, I don't think you need anything. It will be compatible out of the box. Just don't forget to basically run Flutter Doctor. And to run Flutter Doctor, don't forget to add this in your environment variable. So, make sure you have the Flutter unzipped, all right? And then make sure you just copy the bin, and then you basically add it to your environment variable. So that's all, a recap for everything you have to do. Long story short, the path, you don't need to install both Android Studio and Visual Studio. Um, just make sure to have VS Code with you, Visual Studio Code with you, and then make sure to install the extension. So that's all for this short video, for the short instruction. And again, if you want more detail on this, I will send a YouTube video on which he explains every situation nicely. And then again, if you have any problem, any question, feel free to ask in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.